Welcome to Ironcast, the second free game on Epic this week. This game was something that I thought, I'm really not going to like this game, but actually, it's quite a lot of fun. I initially went and had a look at some reviews and things and people playing the game before I got it myself, and I think one of the reviews I saw was by a guy called Total Biscuit, who sadly passed away in 2018. But if any of you remember him, he was very honest about games he played. So this one was a surprise. Now you can select a new game. You can play through the tutorial in the first instance if you wish, which just basically starts you with this character and one unlocked mech, if you will. So it's all set in a alternative history, cyberpunk, Victorian England, yada yada yada. And you're the English fighting against the French, for example. Now, I only have access to Ares Powell, who has a fantastic fan thing going on there. Looks like some kind of energy weapon. Anyhow, you select your character. There are 4 different ones you can unlock, and then you can select your Ironcast, which is your mech, effectively. I only have the starter one unlocked here, but you can unlock others as you play through the game. Now, something important to note is this is a roguelite. If you die, then you go back to the start. So your game is gone. You can save your game and continue later, but if you die, that's it. Game over. So, if I just go back, I will note that all the characters have a signature augmentation, and so do all the Ironcasts. So she gets, when you match 6 or more energy nodes, reduces the energy cost of activating the next shield or drive system by 1 to a minimum of 1 total. The heat cost remains unchanged. In addition, the damage of all energy-based weapons is boosted by 10%. These are things you need to pay attention to because it will give you a huge bonus in the game and it's easy to forget about them. And again, here, your signature Ironcast ability is fires a spread of 6 small missiles, each striking at a random enemy system for 10% of the system's maximum health as damage. So again, it's just a free attack, basically, that you can do right at the start of the game. So let's start the game. And I'll just show you how it plays, because I think that's a good way to review this game. There's a lot going on this screen. So you have all your Ironcast systems over here. So weapon A, your drives, your second weapon, and your defenses. So your defenses are your shields or your armor. The drives are what makes you go forward. And your weapons can be anything from cannons to energy weapons to, that's a light cannon. It's basically a bigger machine gun or a 30mm cannon. You can see your abilities down the bottom. You can select your Ironcast abilities. I don't have any unlocked at the moment, but you'll get them as you level up. And then you can go to the workshop and you can unlock and purchase new items. So these are ones that I have access to at the moment. But they're all very expensive and I only have 100 gold bars, or 100 scrap as it's called in this. So let's get out of that screen. Really all we can do right now is have a fight. This is where you would also heal your mech after a battle. So, if you click on them, orange means that it's medium, red means that it's hard. They're all going to be very similar. So, let's pick this one because it gives us the most reward. This is one I saw and I was like, what on earth is this game? This looks like a mobile game. Why do I want to play this? It looks like Crazy Cupcakes or something. It's just matching items. But actually, taking into account everything else, it's actually quite a lot of fun. And I see why people match it up to puzzle games, but also FTL, if you've ever played that. The idea here is we can fire our rockets straight away. That's a free attack. Now over here you can see our augments and our system augmentations. So that's what we've upgraded with. Currently I just have my signature augmentation. Then here you have your activatable abilities. These are your nodes of whatever kind. These are linking nodes, so you can do more than one type of node at once. So I can select 3 of those, that, and then 4 or 5 of those. coolant, 20 to 20. Coolant's very important. If you don't keep coolant up, then you take damage every time you want to use your weapons, or you want to walk, or you want to raise your shields. You'll notice the mechs are obviously very different in design. In the design, some of them are actually quite impressive. Now we can have a look at what weapons and the subsystems that this other mech has, and you can target them. So currently it's selected that we're targeting the shot cannon, which is pretty much like a shotgun, I assume. Then you've got an energy lance, you've got some drive systems and shields. Now generally I go for the shields first, because if they've got no shields then they're going to take more damage overall. So we need a couple of things now. We need ammo and we need energy more than anything else. So what we can do to get that is quite simple. We can select these and then just do that. And now we've got 5 ammo, 5 energy. There are some abilities you get which allow you to bump up the amount, which is very helpful. Now I will say you need at least 3 of one type of core to activate it and take it. However, you can use a linking node or an overdrive node, etc., so that you don't have to select that many. So what we can do is we can start walking. We can raise our shields. We can't use our weapons yet, but it means we can start building up other stuff. So I'm not sure we can select 2 coolant on their own. No, I think we need at least 3. But we might be able to select 2 of these and get some more energy as well. Yeah, there we go. So the linking one allows us to grab multiple things at once. And then we've got 5 ammo of 8 maximum, so we could just take 3 more of that, or we could get something to repair with. I'm inclined to think repairing would be a good idea. Let's just pull back. How much can we have in total? 10 in total, so we can just go... There we go. So we can now fix everything. We've got plenty of coolant, we've got a bit of energy, and we've got plenty of ammo. And we can... Let's increase our speed again. And just that means we're going a little bit faster and makes us harder to shoot at. And then the enemy has their turn. And the game pretty much continues like this. So we can now fire our weapons. So let's fire at those shields and make sure we kill them. So the shields are dead. Now we can start thinking about taking out their weapons as well. But we need to do ammo first. So I've now got full ammo. Let's take a couple of shots. And we should be able to kill them this turn. What I'd also love to do is get all this fantastic gold. So I'm going to do that just so I can get all these together. And that's just extra scrap basically, so we can spend it at the end. Take our final few shots. It should be dead. Fantastic. Obviously the battles get more complex, so it's not just mechs you will fight, you will also fight steam tanks, which is basically a train with a massive cannon on top. So there we go, we've leveled up. Now that we've leveled up, we get access to Energy Lance Mark II and Standard Drive Mark II. We've got those blueprints. We can now build those, but we need enough scrap to be able to do that. And then the rest of the post-battle gameplay is back in the workshop, and this is where you can repair at 1 scrap per point. You can upgrade with workshop items and buy new equipment, or even upgrade that equipment if you have the unlocks. And you can spend your command point, which allows you to increase your health of your Ironcast, and select a passive or active Ironcast ability. They all give different bonuses, and potentially for their bonus they also give a negative, so it's important to choose wisely. And also which ones you think will benefit you the most in a battle. Everybody is going to have a different playstyle, and each Ironcast or mech is going to have a different playstyle as well. So that pretty much sums up all the gameplay. We've seen the different stages, the initial setup, the actual battles, and then what you can do in the workshop afterwards. And it's pretty much rinse and repeat. There are some other gameplay elements, for example, In some missions you might get a quest like you can't let your coolant drop below 10, otherwise you lose the battle. Losing the battle in that way doesn't mean you have to restart, but if you are destroyed then you do have to restart the entire game from scratch. As you progress you unlock the other Ironcasts and you will unlock the other drivers or pilots. So there is plenty there to do and unlock as you go along, including obviously unlocking all the various weapons and the different upgrades. So there's plenty of reason to keep coming back and playing. It's also quite deceptive because while you can play it quite simply, there is always a lot of strategy involved in these battles, and the decision you make about which nodes you take can make a huge difference in the upcoming moves or turns of the battle. So it's a lot like a game of chess in that sense. You have to sort of plan in advance, and don't forget the other abilities, the active abilities and the passive abilities, because if you use those at the wrong time, it could cost you the game. Now, the graphics of the game, it's a 2D side-scroller, but it's actually quite pretty. There's a lot of different design work gone into it, at least where the mechs and the weapons are concerned. The sounds are quite good, the music's pretty decent, and the weapon sound effects I think are pretty good as well. So, in summary, this is a game that surprised me. I was not expecting something that I would actually really enjoy. I genuinely thought this was some weird fun game with some tacked on random stuff. Actually, they've put a lot of thought and effort into making the mech battle side of it quite fun. So yes, you do have this bit where you have to link the nodes and use that to give you power and things like that. But how you do that and the steps you take and the forward planning, a lot like chess, that's actually a lot of fun and I was really surprised. How much replayability it has depends on how much you want to unlock, I suppose. I suspect some people might find the game quite boring after a while because the battles are a bit of rinse repeat. Even if you do get upgraded weapons and things, there is a point where you're just going to be doing the same thing over and over again. Now, the game has mostly positive Steam reviews. I would certainly be giving it a 4 or a 4.5 out of 5. So I strongly recommend you grab this while it's free. It's been 80% off in the Steam sale. It's probably worth picking up for that much as well. Has anyone else played it so far? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, thanks very much for watching. Please do smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you all soon for some more epic game reviews.